Today is CPI, guys, and once again we're going to put our strategy to test. Right now, this is just for those who love trading news, and so we're just going to hop in the market, do our analysis, and if we get opportunity, we're going to jump in the market and wait, for the CPI. So let's get started. Before we get started, we need to ask ourselves the pairs that that might get affected when CPI drops today, right? So let's go and ask our friend this question. Let's go. Let's see what she's going to tell us. I think we also need some cross pairs. Okay. Right. So this is it. So we've seen we have we have the major pairs: Euro USD, basically GBP USD, USD JPY, or USD USD. I believe everybody knows that those pairs get affected by by CPI. But then at the same time, I think those cross pairs usually move crazy compared to the major pairs. I don't know if you guys have noticed, right? I'm talking about gold, BTC, the GBPs, and in fact, let's just say XJPY, right? XJPY. Those are crazy pairs that get affected by CPI or even NFP. I'm talking about the US NFP or US CPI. But then let's talk about CPI, because today we are anticipating CPI. So we're going to deal with these cross pairs and of course major pairs on maybe GBP USD, USD JPY. Mostly, let's just try to analyze USD JPY, GBP USD, and on cross pair we will analyze gold and these ones, right? So real quick, let's start with GBP USD. But then some of CPI is crazy. It's not just all about those cross pairs. Some of it do affect some of all pairs, right? So let's get started with what did we say? GBP USD. Good. So we start our analysis from the daily where we left. This is it. So I'll flip my joint. This is it. So basically, we can say that from the daily time frame, this is our last high, which is a low. Don't forget that. That's it. Then we have this right here is our low, which is a high. That is this. That is what I'm talking about, right? Good. So we've seen that what's this? GBP USD has been dropping, which is still okay. So we go to the H4 real quick and see what the market is doing on those lower time frame, right? So this is what we have based on lower time frame. We've seen we had this trend right there. Correct. Talk to me, baby. Our ancestors, the gods of forex. Let's just have this right here. Correct. So we mark out this also, because that's also a key level too. Remember, this analysis is not a long-term thing. This is just based on news thing, right? So we have that marked, and we mark these two right there. So now we see GBP USD is playing around this level right here. So what if we say, okay, this is just an impulse phase correction? I don't know what this. Let's just continue. Basically, go to the H1 right there. Remember, we need to catch this entry before CPI drops. Like we said, 1 hour, 5 hours before CPI drops. So as I'm recording, this is 9:16. So I think we left with probably 7 hours or even 6.5 hours, right? So this is it. So this is what we see on the H1. Then I'll hit the 15. So what are we looking for? let's see. So we had this. Let's just try to understand the market. Anything goes. Let's just mark out that level right here. Correct. So I think I should remove this. So basically, if I get GBP USD hitting this trend line, then kind of respecting, then if she breaks before CPI, because I believe that's like many pips. How many pips? That's like 31 pips, right? If GBP JPY does that before CPI, then I will take my entry after she takes out that trend line. Then have it right there. Let me see how many, you know, when CPI drops, it's not only CPI, we do have some news too that do drop, so we might expect some spikes before maybe price moving to our anticipated direction. So let's go. We have okay, can you see CPI inflation rate, you know, then hopefully we don't get weak, right? We don't get some weeks before we see maybe the trade going towards our favor, right? So for instance, if I have that, something like that, probably if we have maybe 50 pips, then our take profit should be around that level. Remember, this is not a long-term thing, guys. Remember, this is just news thing. So probably if we have this right here, because if we get that kind of anticipation and then, you know, market move to our favor, we still anticipate she will come back to retest this trend line right there. Correct. So that is what we hope on the GBP USD. But if we don't get break right here before news, right, if GBP USD doesn't go as anticipated before news, and then, you know, she continues playing around, we need to understand what she will be doing during this phase, during this drop right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. If we get a bullish continuation, then we should be anticipating that we should be looking for buys on a CPI. Let's just have this, for instance, something like this. Something like this. So if she continues playing in this channel, something like this, then we have this kind of anticipation. Then probably even if it's 5 minutes to CPI, then we have this break, or even 30 minutes before, I mean, to CPI, then I think we should be looking for our entry around that level. So those are just levels that we should be watching out, right? At the same time, if that doesn't happen, then we will I will not look for buys or even sales on that, right? But for now, that is what I see on GBP USD. So let's have it. In fact, let's just add another one right here and then call it news. So let's just add this pair to our news list too. Add it to the news list right there. So the next one we should be looking out for GBP. Let's try to, you know, because this video already is long, so I think everything is still going to make sense even on a gold trade, right? Because I see already she's pushing all the way up. But then let's analyze GBPs, maybe GBP JPY or even Euro JPY, whichever. So this is what we see. I've just clicked on Euro JPY. So based on the daily time frame, this is it. So of the daily time frame, yes, we've seen we had this as a low, we had a high right here, we had this as a low right here, or just that right there. So yeah, and of course we had these two. right there. So we go to the H4 and see what price is doing. So basically we understand that the market was creating lows and highs, low high, low high, something like that. So talking about order blocks, liquidity, so we have this level right there that I see price as respected. So basically all I see is that Euro JPY, and of course now when I'm talking about Euro JPY, this is just all round XXJPY, Euro JPY, AUD JPY, GBP JPY. So I don't need to analyze all those pairs, right? Same way I've analyzed GBP USD should also be on all this gold, Euro USD, NZ USD, because kind of the markets, all those pairs do correlate, right? So if we look at Euro JPY, we've seen on the H1 or H4, sorry, we've had that as an impulse phase. So basically all we need right now is just correction phase. I think that is what we see the market might be doing. Maybe if we go to maybe 1 hour real quick over there. So yeah, we anticipate that this is just a correction or a pullback phase. So we need this one to be complete before CPI drops, right? And then let's say maybe an hour before CPI, or even 2 hours, even because like I say, we have maybe was it 7? Yeah, 7 or 6 hours before CPI drops. So if we get even an entry 5 hours or even 4 hours before CPI, will be an amazing thing, because I don't want to get in 5 minutes to CPI thing, right? So we need to mark out this as the last level that price did break out from. Take care of the week. So I'll zoom in. Let's take care of everything right there, right? So all I think I'm anticipating is just a pullback. Let the market continue doing its thing. Maybe right here, if I get an entry confirmation, I'm going to take that sell position right there. But then guys, remember, this is just my anticipation. If I don't get these anticipations, I'm not taking any trade, right? I'm not going to take a trade if I don't get my confirmation. I don't need to take any entry position. Remember, this is news, and things might go crazy. 24 times 3, 12, 72. In fact, let's just say 73.8. 73.8. 73.8. Come on. 73.8. Am I good in maths? Let's see. 24.6. Where's the calculator? 24.6 times 3. 73.8. Yo, I'm dangerous. Very well, that's it. So that should be my anticipation. Once I get maybe a confirmation around that level, let me see what the market is doing on the 15 minute time frame. But then remember, this is it. If a CPI affects XXJPY, remember XXCHF correlates with XXJPY. So basically, they might move in the same direction. Who knows? Let's see. I was looking for selling position on NZCHF, but funny enough, she never gave me a good opportunity yesterday around this level. That is where I wanted to catch the move. Then she just dropped. So today I've seen, this is what the market has done. Basically, on the H1, I see that this might be a double top, before you see the market going down. But I don't know why I don't trust that double top, because if we go to the H4, this is the madness that we see. A price is printing. So I think I'm just going to stay away. If she doesn't behave how I anticipate, then I'm not going to take that entry position, right? Because initially I was anticipating that, okay, this is it, something like this, and maybe something like this, you understand? But then I think she's just trying to create a double top. might call it a triple top, either way, something like that. So I don't know what she's thinking though. So I think I should just see how this H1 is going to play out. If she does this, then now gives me a confirmation. Anyway, I'll still take the entry if I get a confirmation either way, right? So if I don't get any, I'm not going to take a position, because I think NZD-CHF is also going to be affected by CPI. You understand? So you guys check out my Telegram link in the description box below. Adios, and I wish you well in your news trading thing. But then remember, if I don't get this anticipation, we're not going to take this trade. So don't just watch this video and start looking for your entry position on any of this pair, right? Don't just open your JBP, start looking for buys. The market might kill you, you understand? So all the best, guys. Adios.